Today in the battle arena, well, we've got a matchup for the ages. World Breaker Hulk is going up against Hunter Prey Doomsday. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. After being bombarded with a massive dose of gamma radiation while saving a young man's life during the testing of an experimental bomb, Dr. Robert Bruce Banner was transformed into the Incredible Hulk, a green behemoth who is the living personification of rage and pure physical strength. But today, we're not just going to be using any old version of the Hulk, but World Breaker Hulk, who has repeatedly been called one of the strongest iterations of the Hulk we've ever seen. And just to make things even more interesting, well, let's also include feats from World War Hulk, as World Breaker Hulk is just World War Hulk who's no longer holding back. So they're basically the same version. So when World War Hulk came to Earth, Doctor Strange said that Hulk had never been stronger before. And Amadeus Cho even said Hulk was holding back the entire event, and he really could have killed all of them if he wanted to. Hulk was strong enough to beat the Iron Man World War Hulk Buster, take down She-Hulk with just one punch, quickly took down Juggernaut, laid a massive beatdown on Hercules, and even beat a confident Sentry in hand-to-hand combat. Hulk was able to take down Kitty Pryde and Ghost Rider with a thunderclap, and even alter the moon's gravity with his shockwaves. Hulk's durable enough to take attacks from pretty much every super being of Earth, including Hercules, Sentry, and Juggernaut, but has also survived attacks hard enough to send chunks of the moon the size of Rhode Island flying into space, and it was said that nukes would only make it more powerful. He also wasn't even bothered by the Human Torch's Nova Blast, Cyclops Blast, and Ghost Rider's Fire. He instantly healed himself from having his eyes slashed out, rocks phased into his arms, being pierced with adamantium shrapnel, having a hole punched through his lungs by a Sentry, and a hole punched through his chest by Doctor Strange. Even took a death touch that was designed to overload his healing factor. All of these attacks he healed through pretty much instantly. This version of the Hulk is also surprisingly fast, as he can move and attack in a blur, create super impacts with his landings, and blitz Iron Man. But see, the thing is, Hulk was actually holding back the entire time through the World War Hulk story. When Hulk no longer decides to hold back, that's when he transforms into World Breaker Hulk. And World Breaker Hulk is strong enough where his simple steps generate enough power to nearly destroy the entire East Coast. He sent Fin Fang Foom flying through a mystical barrier with a thunderclap. And this version of the Hulk was actually able to literally destroy planets with just the shockwaves from the force of his blows. So that's who we got in one corner. The Green Goliath, the strongest one there is, World Breaker Hulk. But entering the ring in the other corner, well, it's the monster that killed Superman, Hunter Prey Doomsday. Doomsday is a seemingly unstoppable behemoth who adapts to overcome and destroy anything or anyone in his path. Because of his unique physiology, every time Doomsday dies, he comes back to life and becomes immune to whatever killed him. Doomsday possesses vast physical strength, and in fact, most opponents that get in his path are killed. He's even killed Superman before, and has knocked out Darkseid, Lord of Apocalypse. So if that doesn't give you a glimpse of Doomsday's strength, I don't know what would. But not only is he super strong, he's also effectively invulnerable. He's withstood punches from Superman, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter, Darkseid's Omega Beams, and energy blasts from Green Lanterns. Then the few vital organs or weak spots that Doomsday does have are protected by thick layers of bone. Doomsday is an exceptionally fast healing factor, able to heal from any injury, virtually instantaneously. He also possesses an ability known as reactive adaptation, which basically means the longer the fight goes on, the more invulnerable he'll get as he fights. But not only that, but he can actually adapt to his opponents and their weaknesses. For instance, he's grown kryptonite bone protrusions before while fighting Superman, and gained the ability to breathe fire while fighting against Martian Manhunter. Doomsday can also involuntarily return from the dead, so no matter how many times he dies, he'll always come back, and he'll be immune to whatever killed him in past lives. Hunter Prey Doomsday returned after being killed by Superman, with the ability to adapt to become even stronger. He's even got in battle adaptation and evolution. He's broken Superman's arm, wrecked both Supergirl and Cyborg Superman, torn through Empiric's probes, and even beat the whole Justice League. He's also adapted to gain the power of flight, energy projection, tactile telekinesis. He's got a healing factor, and even turned it to Cyborg Doomsday before. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. So Hulk vs. Doomsday is one of the best fights out there. A fight where you can truly argue that either side could win, and well, you'd be right. It really is that close, and really is that even of a fight. But what would happen if we threw some of their most powerful forms head to head? World Breaker Hulk is going up against Hunter Prey Doomsday. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. And first things first, strength and physicality. And this is definitely going to be the most important part of the fight. These two are really known primarily for their strength and their durability. Well, Worldbreaker Hulk, he claims to be the strongest one there is. And the thing is, he kinda does back this up. Besides the fact that we can still call upon everything that Hulk did in his previous forms, like supporting the weight of a star, or holding back Exeter the Celestial, someone who was the size of the Earth, Hulk has famously been able to fight against Worldbreaker Red She-Hulk. And just from colliding with one another, they generate enough force to destroy the planet they were on and vaporize Wendigo, Beast, and others, as well as damage a moon with the mere shockwave of their collision. He sent Fin Fang Foom flying backwards with a thunderclap, basically turning him into a massive projectile and shattering a barrier that was strong enough to hold back an army of mindless ones. He's shaken the whole continent just by walking, nearly broke the west coast off into the Pacific Ocean. With two more steps, would have destroyed the east coast as well. Just by existing, Hulk was able to generate enough energy to send heroes flying backwards, destroy cities, was actually threatening to destroy the entire continent. Hulk also said that he was holding back the entire time because of the fact that he was around citizens. But now, he doesn't have to. The heroes of Earth don't even try to stop him because they know they can't. He's already beaten the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Black Bolt, Doctor Strange, and Sentry. There's nothing they can do. He's just too freaking powerful. And I'm talking about heroes like Thor, someone who's fought against Hulk countless times, someone who's stalemated Hulk for an hour straight, someone who's even beaten the Hulk before. Thor didn't even try to take Hulk down. He's also fought against his son Scar, someone who is just as strong as normal Hulk, and if you compare some specific feats, arguably even stronger. And Hulk beat Scar and said he could have crushed Scar's head like an egg. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Hulk is pretty strong. So is Doomsday. He's ripped Plastic Man apart, something that was supposed to have been impossible. He's broken Superman's arm, something that we had never seen before up until that point, and beat both Supergirl and Cyborg Superman at the same time. So, two Kryptonian Superman level threats at once. Also, can't forget, Doomsday also wrecked the Eradicator, one of those Superman copycats that stepped up in the death of the real Superman. He's beaten Darkseid before and took him out in like 3 or 4 hits. Although this feat is definitely in question, because while the writer of the comic states really insists that it was the real Darkseid that Doomsday beat, it was actually retconned in the comic as just an avatar of Darkseid, and a rather weak avatar at that. And so that goes into who's got ultimate say, the writer, the publisher, and all that. And I definitely don't know the answer to that question. So just put an asterisk by this feat in your mind. However, one feat that isn't in question is Doomsday beating the entire Justice League, a team consisting of Wonder Woman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, and others. However, end of the day, I think Worldbreaker Hulk is still the stronger one of the two. I mean, just destroying a planet and several moons with the shockwave of your blow is one of the most impressive strength feats in any comic. That's going to be kinda hard to top. So then what about durability? Well, Worldbreaker Hulk is incredibly durable, taking punches from Worldbreaker Red She-Hulk that resulted in the destruction of the planet. And even took Scar's infamous 100 trillion ton punch, brushed it off like it was nothing, instantly attacking Scar after he landed a few states over. Hulk also has an insane regenerative ability, being able to take massive sword slashes from Worldbreaker Red She-Hulk, brush off being pierced with the old forged blade by Scar, and as World War Hulk, he kept on fighting even repeatedly after being stabbed in the head, having his eyes sliced out, being punched through the lungs by Sentry, or even punched all the way through his body by Doctor Strange. However, here's the thing about Hunter Prey Doomsday, and what sets him apart from pretty much every other iteration of the monster. For starters, Doomsday is incredibly durable. Like, incredibly durable. He's taken assaults from Cyborg Superman, from Supergirl, Starman, and Saintwalker, and taken attacks from an amped Superman like they were nothing. He was laughing before being hit by a blast equal to 1,000,000 nuclear bombs, and he was still laughing afterwards. He's even withstood Katana's soul-stealing sword, survived the Astro Force projection from Orion, and survived and quickly recovered from Darkseid's Omega beams. All very impressive. However, the second thing is the most important. In Hunter Prey, Doomsday no longer has to die and come back in order to become immune or adapt to attacks. Instead, Doomsday can now do it pretty much instantaneously. He's gained the ability to fly, evolved his hearing to become immune to ultrasonic attacks, evolved around Martian Manhunter's phasing ability, and even evolved into Cyborg Doomsday after being blasted right open. He's got a healing factor, was able to destroy a being made out of pure energy, adapted Eradicator's energy projection, and adapted tactile telekinesis. So basically, Doomsday is too durable to be hurt by Hulk's gamma energy. And if he is, now he can just instantly evolve around it. And you can make the argument that Doomsday evolved past being hurt by purely physical attacks a long time ago. In fact, this version of the villain was so powerful that the only way to defeat him was to throw him through time to the end of the universe, where there's nothing left. Entropy has literally consumed all things. And just like the rest of the universe, Doomsday finally ceases to exist. It took the end of all existence to stop Doomsday. So what in the world can Hulk possibly hope to do? Well, I think it kind of depends on what we qualify as a victory for who's coming out on top here. Because it can't be to the death. Because at least theoretically, nothing can kill Doomsday. He's essentially immortal, and he'll always just gonna keep on coming back. He's playing the ultimate long game. So if you look at it from that perspective, well then, of course Doomsday is gonna win. He's just gonna be able to outlast the Hulk. But if you qualify as victory as just being able to absolutely dominate the fight and obviously be holding the upper hand, well then Hulk has a shot here. Hulk destroying planets with shockwaves is more impressive than anything Doomsday has shown us. And Hulk withstood planetary destruction like it was nothing. We're taking a 100 trillion ton punch from Scar proves it's going to take pretty much anything that Doomsday can dish out. He's also got arguably just as great a healing factor as Doomsday. He's been able to fight for 4 days straight against an enemy that's directly comparable to him, and it's implied that Hulk can fight for all of eternity. And because of all of that, I'm gonna go Worldbreaker Hulk, saying that he's gonna hold the confident edge for the majority of this fight. Doomsday was able to beat an amped Superman, beat the Justice League, even beat some version of Darkseid. His adaptability also makes him a real pain, if not downright impossible, to put down. But Hulk was able to beat the Avengers, beat the X-Men, and beat Sentry, all while he was actively holding back and restraining his power. The very force of Hulk existing is enough to destroy the continent. Just him walking was enough to rupture tectonic plates. And again, Hulk was holding back the entire time. I firmly believe that Worldbreaker Hulk is on a higher level, on a stronger level than Hunter Prey Doomsday. And I really don't want to say that Hulk can't beat Doomsday, because Doomsday has his caveat of being unbeatable and unkillable, except if you send him off to the end of the universe. I don't think that's staying true to the spirit of this fight, where Hulk should be more powerful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Worldbreaker Hulk is coming out on top here. Worldbreaker Hulk wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also be sure the like button, subscribe button, and turn notification on the DanCo army. And I will see y'all next time.